everyone, so today I'm gonna interview Brigitte and Andrew. What inspired you to become an actress and a producer in horror genre?
Oh, that's a very good question. Well, I always loved acting. And when I was really young, I went to see my uncle and he was on a movie set. And I saw how amazing that was. And I fell in love with acting. So I bugged my mom until she let me get an agent. And then I started auditioning when I was 14 and sort of started doing it since then. When I went to university for acting, I graduated and I thought it'd be a lot easier to get a job than it was. So I decided that I was going to have to learn to produce so that I can make my own movies.
That's very nice. That's a good idea also. What was the most exciting part of directing a movie like Night Cry?
That movie was a passion project, which basically means it's something that I've always wanted to do, a story like that. So I think just being able to, one, make a movie with my wife and do a story that I felt really resonated with what I was going through in my own life at the time and answer questions that I had. Night Cries will always have a special place in my heart for that reason.
I like when you have just a special movie and you just want to keep it forever in your heart. What was your favorite memory from working in Dark Rising?
Oh my goodness, we have so many good memories from Dark Rising. That was that was the first movie we made. So I think one of my favorite memories was the scene where it had to be in a pool and it was cold and we were supposed to shoot it in a river. And Andrew, luckily, was very nice and he decided to dress up a warm pool so that it looked like a river and it didn't have to be that cold. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs with a lot of the people that we're still really good friends with.
Well, that's very nice of you, Andrew. It's nice when you get little memories like that and they're funny and you just know that you're gonna remember it forever. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you prefer acting or directing and why?
Acting and directing is both very different, and I am rewarded by each, but in different ways. Acting, I always love to perform. And directing, you're kind of performing when you're directing as well, because most directors, I would say, are actually introverts, and most artists are. But directing requires you to be able to lead a team of people. So a lot of times I always say, it's like, well, the person that you meet on set who's actually running the show, that Andrew might not be the same Andrew that is just chilling at home, right? And maybe I'm not so exuberant with how, or excitable. I'm actually very calm all the time. Even in this interview, I'm much more excitable than I usually am at home. Directing allows the visions and the stories that you have, you're instrumental, and you help actors become different people. And that's always fun, tailoring their performances. And as an actor, I've only actually worked under myself as an actor. So I haven't actually had the experience of someone else directing me as an actor. I'm curious to see what that feels like, because I have no idea what that feels like.
That's cool. How do you balance acting and producing? Do you have a favorite between the two?
I love them both so much. I got into the industry acting, so that's my first love. But producing is so cool because then you get to pick the movie, you get to do everything. Balancing both is sometimes really hard because sometimes you're shooting all day and you're supposed to be on set in character, and then all of a sudden you have to run off and pick up the phone and make sure the caterer shows up on time. Or sometimes in the middle of the night, everybody goes to bed and you have to do the laundry because laundry needs to be made for the next day for the actors. It's really fun. It's a lot of work, but I love doing both.
If you could make any horror movies, what would it be about?
That's really tough because, in all honesty, I've made the movies I wanted to make. Night Cries was a very personal story that I wanted to make. I'm also a huge fan of the horror comedy genre, and we've done the Dark Rising series. We're also releasing our second movie, Medium Raw, which had a serial killer that dresses up in a giant metal wolf costume, which is almost like a horror superhero mashup, and that's being released soon. So I would say what's coming up, I'm not sure, but I'm actually excited to see what we come up with next as well.
What would you say to mini me, sort of, a child that loves horror and would like to be a director or something?
We would say probably to always follow your dreams and keep at it. Perseverance is the most important thing. You just gotta keep going.
And I guess I would say along those lines, there isn't a specific path to take. You have to follow your own path. We followed our own path. We went against what a lot of people told us, and sometimes they may have set us back a bit, or sometimes, by not listening to people, you'll go into a different direction.
I'm so happy to have met you guys. Thank you so much for the interview. It's already the end.
Okay.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to talk.
Perfect.